Hello all, I am Ruthvi Thakur. Let's learn about the addressing modes of 8051. The addressing modes of 8051 are basically divided into 5 parts. First is the immediate addressing mode, second is register addressing mode, third is direct addressing mode, fourth is indirect addressing mode, and the fifth one is indexed addressing mode. Let's see in detail what are the addressing modes and how are they useful in the programming of 8051. The first one is the immediate addressing mode. Immediate, the word itself says that the data, whichever is there, it is present in the command itself. So as you can see here, the immediate data must be preceded with a hash sign. So whenever in the programming, if we see a hash sign, we should know that the addressing mode that is used is the immediate addressing mode. So let me tell you this example. What happens is MOV is a simple instruction for a move of the data. R0 is the register which we have selected, and hash 0F0. Okay, this is the way we'll be writing the data. So what will happen in this instruction is R0 will be loaded with the value F0 hex. Now one question will be, if F0 is moved, what is this 0 which is preceded? So F0 is the data, but in some of the simulators, when we program 8051, it requires a 0 to be written before any alphabetical value that you have to load, or else it will take it as an invalid data. Hence, we write it down in the general practice as move R0, hash 0F0, so that F0 is the data which will be stored to R0. Now, registers, as we know, are able to store only 8-bit data, so we'll be having only 8 bits data for every register. But if we go to the DPTR, that is a data pointer which is of a 16-bit, we can have the data of 16-bit. Next is the register addressing mode. As the name suggests, register, we know what are the registers. So before going with the example, I'll show you the last part which says how to select the registers from the register bank. We have already seen the status of PSW. So by PSW, we can select any of the register. At default, the PSW will be 0000, which will denote the register bank 0. So in the register addressing mode, move A, R0. Whatever the data is contained in R0 will directly move to the accumulator. It can be the reverse way. From accumulator, you can move the data to the register R1. We can directly add the data from register and R1. The only difference is whenever we use any of the arithmetic instructions, which will be studied in the later sections, that all the arithmetical and logic calculations should have one data compulsorily in the accumulator. Not all the combinations for the register addressing mode is valid. That means if I want to move the data directly from R2 to R1, I cannot do that. I have to move it through the accumulator, or the other part is I can write it down it as MOV 02 hex is the address of register R2, and I can move it. I can move the data of R1 to register R2, writing this instruction as well. Next is the third addressing mode. Which is the direct addressing mode. Direct is nothing but whenever we have any on-chip memory, there are data stored in memory. If we want to access the data from the memory, so we can use directly 8-bit address of that instruction, and the data can be moved from that particular address to the desired location. So we can have 8-bit address, as the data bus of 8051 is only 8-bit. So first example, move E0, 04 hex. So this 04 is nothing but the address. Now, one difference is there is no hash written in before the 04. So it is not an immediate addressing mode that we need to take care of. 0E0 is nothing but the address of accumulator. This is just the way, one way by which we can write down the code. So your simple memory location 04 hex, whatever the data is stored in 04 hex will be stored in the accumulator. Or we can directly write it down E0 for accumulator, 04 is nothing but the R4 register. So we can move the data from R4 to accumulator. But since this becomes a register addressing mode, we write down this way. This R04 is our register name for R4, but it can be any register or any random memory location which can be of 8-bit address. The next addressing mode is the indirect addressing mode. The indirect addressing mode, the most important thing you need to take care of is the @ sign. So if any of the program or any of the command, if we see that @ sign is there, we should come to know that it is an indirect addressing mode. So here for the indirect addressing mode, there are only two registers which can be used, that is R0 and R1. So when I just take an example, move R1 comma hash 40 hex, that means 40 hex is loaded in register R1. Move A comma @R1. So what this will do is R1 is loaded with 40 hex. It will go to the location 40 hex. Whatever the data is stored in the location 40 hex, it will store it to the accumulator. So it is a three-way process. So we'll just see. If I write down move A comma @R1. Okay, so R1 currently is 40 hex. @R1 is equals to @40 hex. So let's assume that in 40 hex location, we have the data stored as AB hex. Okay, and next is move A comma @R1. So therefore I can say that A is loaded by AB hex. Okay, this is the meaning of the indirect addressing mode. I can directly move from one register to another register using indirect addressing mode. That means move @R0 comma R1. Whatever the data is there in R1 will be stored in the location which is pointed by R0. So R0 over here does not act as the data register, it acts as an address register. The next addressing mode is the indirect addressing mode for internal external register. So if you say that only internal memory locations are used, for internal memory locations, we have 8-bit data. But when we go to external memory, obviously we'll be interfacing the external memory, which will be of 64-bit. So for that, we'll be using the DPTR register. @R1 for external register, if I use, then it will be 8-bit register if the address is in the range of 00 to FF hex. If it is using more than FF hex, which goes to the range of maximum 64K, that means the range of that address can be 0000 hex to FFFF hex. In that case, we'll have to use the DPTR. So move X, your X denotes that we are accessing the external memory. The previous example for which we saw move A comma @R1 was using the internal memory. But here, since X is there, we have to know that it is accessing the external memory, which is interfaced. Let's come to the last addressing mode. It is the indexed addressing mode. It is used for storing a pointer to memory and another register for storing an offset. So here it is say the effective address can be pointer plus the offset. The example can be move C A comma @A plus DPTR. DPTR is a 16-bit register. @ denotes that is an external register, external data. Whatever the data is there in DPTR will get added to the accumulator. That effective address, whatever is there, that address will be, whatever the data is there in that address will be loaded to the accumulator. And this address which is there, it should be of the code memory and not the data memory. So just to summarize again, we'll just see what are the 5 types of addressing modes. Immediate addressing mode, it has a hash in it. Register addressing modes, directly we can move to register. If you want to move through 2 registers, you can use address of either of the register. Direct addressing mode will move from the internal memory location to any of the internal register. Indirect uses @ and indexed uses code memory, that is move C A comma A plus @DPTR or the reverse. That's all for the addressing modes. Thank you for watching.